Welcome to this explainer. I'm going to be stepping into the role of your senior consultant today, and my goal is to help you rebuild your hiring process literally from the ground up using smart, targeted AI integration. We are moving way beyond basic buzzwords here. We're going to architect actual production systems that are systematic, highly defensible, and most importantly, efficient. So let's roll up our sleeves and get right into it.
All right, let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room right off the bat, shall we? Is your recruiting process fundamentally broken? We're talking about the sheer frustration, the wasted time, and the completely inconsistent feedback that's probably plaguing your current hiring systems. Look, as a recruiting leader, figuring out how to design an AI workflow for your specific, everyday challenges is basically the difference between thriving and drowning. If your team is buried in sheer volume but absolutely starving for quality, well, you are exactly where you need to be.
Here is our blueprint for today. First, the recruiting challenge. Second, map your current reality. Third, spot the AI opportunities. Fourth, design the new workflow. Fifth, measure your success. And finally, number 6, how to avoid those dangerous workflow traps.
Let's jump right into part 1, the recruiting challenge and finding your focus.
We have to start by pouring a really solid foundation. And what that means is isolating a very specific, incredibly painful problem in your organization, rather than trying to just fix everything all at once. Take a look at this high-volume, low-speed nightmare. Our engineering screening is too slow because we get 200 applications for 5 roles. Do you notice the difference between this and just generally complaining, hey, we're too slow? It identifies the exact role, and it pinpoints the exact bottleneck. To make absolutely sure your project actually succeeds, the challenge you select has to hit 3 specific criteria. First, does it actually cause your team pain? Like, is it wasting time or hurting candidate quality? Second, is it highly specific? And third, and honestly, this is the most important one, is it actionable? Meaning, do you actually have the power to change it? If it checks all 3 of those boxes, we are ready to start building. Moving right along to part 2, mapping your current reality, which is essentially surveying the land. Before we even think about introducing any shiny new technology, we have to build a baseline. We need to visualize every single moment candidates wait, where work gets held up, and where crucial information just gets lost in the void. You literally cannot improve a process that you haven't fully documented. So, what is the exact starting point? Where are the critical decisions being made to advance or reject someone? Who is actually involved? By identifying these handoff risks step by step, you create a complete, undeniable picture of your current state. Which brings us to part 3, spotting the AI opportunities or framing the house.
With our current state clearly mapped out, it's time to calibrate your AI judgment skills. We're going to deploy AI to quickly screen those initial 200 applications based on minimum qualifications. But how do you actually know when to use AI versus humans? Well, as a best practice, use a quick task risk checklist. Ask yourself, is the task high volume and repetitive? If yes, that's a low-risk, high-capability match for AI. But does the task require empathy, cultural nuance, and relationship building? If you push AI into those areas, you're on straight into the risk of AI hallucinations, like the system generating completely fake citations or fabricated statistics to justify dropping a candidate. So for those nuanced areas, human judgment is absolutely irreplaceable.
The crucial takeaway here, the thing you really need to remember, is that we are not automating the recruiter out of a job. We are augmenting them. You have to intentionally protect your human touchpoints. You're ensuring your team has the time, the crystal clear criteria, and the mental energy to make those nuanced, high-stakes hiring calls.
All right, part 4, designing the new workflow. Here comes the blueprint. Now we get to the really fun part. Think of this as taking that baseline map we just created and sketching a new, highly efficient alternative directly over it. A massive opportunity here is creating parallel paths. For instance, maybe the AI schedules a preliminary assessment at the exact same time a human recruiter is reviewing the candidate's portfolio. You do this rather than making the candidate sit around waiting sequentially for one single step to finish before the next one even begins. Now, I tell my teams this all the time. The goal here is not some crazy sci-fi overhaul. We aren't building Skynet, okay? We are surgically applying AI to fix a very specific bottleneck. Honestly, modest improvements are infinitely more likely to succeed than radical redesigns that just end up breaking the rest of the company. Go for simple, highly measurable version 1 changes that you can continuously tweak based on real-world results. Now for part 5, measuring your success, what I like to call the final inspection. A beautifully designed workflow is, well, totally useless if we can't actually prove that it works. You have to establish current baselines and future targets for at least one metric in each of these 4 categories. For fairness, you absolutely must track conversion rates by demographic group to ensure the AI isn't skewing your process. For experience, track your candidate Net Promoter Score. The golden rule? Define your metrics up front, way before the new system ever goes live.
And finally, part 6, avoiding these workflow traps, or what we call anti-patterns.
I need to open a trapdoor here and warn you about the hidden pitfalls that destroy most AI projects. First up, over-automation. That's trying to automate literally everything instead of just the high-volume tasks. Second, ignoring stakeholders. Let's be real. If you design a system that hiring managers refuse to use, it's just going to gather dust. And lastly, beware of misaligned incentives. If you prioritize pure speed at the total cost of process fairness, you've got a failed project on your hands.
It is so essential to remember that adopting AI is a human challenge just as much as it is a technical one. A brilliant workflow document honestly means nothing without proper change management. You have to train your people, you have to maintain the documentation, and you need to actively lead them through this transition so they feel empowered by the tech, not replaced by it.
So I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought to take back to your team. If you actually implement this workflow, what is most likely to go wrong with your design? Who is the absolute most important stakeholder you still need to convince? Look, workflow design is a highly learnable skill. Take these blueprints, iterate with your team, and start building something great. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.